Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to change the front cowl cover on a 2003 to 2006 CBR600RR. And the reason for that is because I have not seen one video on YouTube that actually shows how to change one of these pieces. There's videos for all the rest of the fairings on the internet, and honestly guys, a lot of those things are very self-explanatory, but I'm going to show you guys how to change the front cowl. Now, I already have all the bolts unbolted, everything's taken off. I literally can take this thing right off, but I'm gonna show you exactly what you would need to do. So the first thing guys is you wanna take off your windscreen. That's your windshield, it's gonna be sitting right here. You just take off these 6 bolts that are on here. Once you take those 6 bolts off, then what you're gonna do is you're actually going to take off your signals. Now you don't have to take off your signals, you can actually just unplug them if you choose to do so. There's just a little plug that's actually in these babies that you can actually undo. If I can find it right here, this one here. This little plug right here is the one that actually goes to your signals. Just unplug that baby right there on both sides. If you want, you can leave your signals on the cowl and you can take it all off at once, or you can take them off like what I did and then take off the cowl afterwards. Now you do not have to take out these 2 bolts at all. This piece is actually over top of everything, so it just comes right off, all right? Now when it comes to the inside of your dash, hopefully you guys can see this really well. There's gonna be a bolt right here, this bolt right here, and there's gonna be another one right here, okay? Right there, you'll have one on top and you're gonna have one on bottom on both sides of the bike. You wanna take those 4 bolts completely out and you're pretty much gonna be good to go. Once you take those 4 bolts out, once you take off your windscreen and you take off these 2 bolts right here, this thing will pretty much pop off. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that little process here. So the first thing guys is have something on your fender right here, so that way whenever this thing, if it does fall, it won't scratch up your fender. I do have another spare fender for the bike, but I really just want to use this one for now, just in case I have an accident in the future, and I'll save my new one for later. But all you really gotta do, once you get all those bolts undone, you literally pull this thing up, pull this up like so, all right? And it'll pop right off, okay? See how that sucker pops right off? Look at that. And then boom, okay? It pops right off, no big deal. There's your front cowl. Now, the thing about the cowl is you're gonna have this piece right down here. Now you can actually take this thing off by pulling these rivets out, and then of course, taking out these bolts here, all these little bolts. You got 3 bolts right here, and then you got 2 rivets on each side of here. All right, now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can take this piece off, or whenever you order a new Monster fairing kit, they're gonna give you a brand new kit for you and you just wanna install it. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm actually gonna take this piece off because honestly guys, it's out of sight, out of mind. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to put it on the brand new cowl. Now you can take off these rivets by just using a screwdriver here. Just pry that screwdriver in there, twist it up, all right, like so. Okay, it's kind of hard to do free-handed. And then pull that little guy right out of there. And then boom, that rivet pops right out. Once you have all the bolts undone, you have the rivets unlocked, you can literally pull this thing back. All right, try to pull it out here a little bit. See, these here are clipped on right here. It's kind of hard to see, but put my hand out of the way, but these are actually clipped in. So we're gonna try to pull that out. There we go, just like so. And now we can use this piece again if we choose to do so. Now again, when you order the Monster kit, you get a brand new piece like this, but honestly, there's nothing wrong with this thing. I just need to clean it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and reuse it. Something to know guys is that if you do decide to put the new pieces on, you'll get a small piece like so, and you'll get another piece that looks like this. And what you wanna do is you wanna have your edges here pointed to the bottom and this edge pointed to the top, opposite of each other. And this actually slides right in this thing like so, okay? You wanna make sure you get it all in here. There we go, just like so. And put that thing in together, and you wanna make sure these are aligned. And then boom, you have your new piece that you can actually put on. Again though, I'm gonna go ahead and use my old piece because it looks like a brand new piece anyways, and I'll save this for later. All right, so you see the cowl facing downwards, you see the eyes or the headlights pointed slanted downwards. This is how your piece is gonna look right here, okay? Just like so, okay? These are gonna be pointing toward the top, and the roundness is gonna go towards the bottom. And you're trying to slip this thing in here to where here we go, kind of get it in here. All right, like so. You want these edges around the outside, like so, okay? And you're trying to put it in like so, or in here, okay. There we go. Now what we need to do is I'll show you guys exactly what I've done here, all right? Just to kind of aim it a little bit down, more a little bit forward. And you can see here, whenever you're pushing it in, you're gonna put your bolt here, and you're gonna put a bolt over there, and you're gonna have one right in here as well, okay? And then you're gonna have a rivet here, and you're gonna have a rivet here that you're gonna be putting in. So the first thing is we're gonna go ahead and slap in some bolts. I put one in that middle there. You wanna start with the middle first. So I got that bolt on. Now what we wanna do is we wanna get these slits slid in there. I know it's kind of hard to see, but you got two slits over here and over here that you wanna get on there. Okay, so we got that side and we got that side on, okay? Now if I can kind of bring this up to you guys a little bit closer so you can see what I just did there. All right, there we go. I don't want to get prints and everything all over my bike here, but if you look, you see the two red slits right there, and you got the bolt in the middle. You just want to make sure those slits are completely intact, all right? And then you want to go ahead and tighten your bolt down here, tighten this bolt here, tighten that sucker down once you get all that in there. And then you want to put your bolts on both sides over here, okay? So that's what we're going to do right now. And using a magnetic tip screwdriver is always a nice little tidbit that helps out a lot as far as, you know, not losing your bolts. Okay, they just need to be snug. You don't have to get crazy, guys. This is just plastic. Now we're going to put our rivets in there. And these are the old rivets that I did use, okay? So we're using these little guys right here. These are the old ones. You can put new ones in if you choose to do so. Whenever you put your rivet in, make sure that this black piece is behind the red trim, okay? Make sure it's behind the red trim. And then you can slap in that rivet. Slap that right in there, like so. And then we'll put this in there. Boom, just like so. Okay, and then we want to do the same thing on the other side. So you see how the black is on the outside of the red? We want to make sure it's behind it, okay? So you might have to do a little bending or so here. It's all good. There we go. Just a little bit. There we go. Just like that. And then put that in there. And now this baby is in one piece. It's all connected. So I want to show you guys something really, really quick before we go to the next step. So the one thing I want to show you guys is this headlamp here actually comes right out. There's, if you look right here, it's kind of hard to see, but right here, there's a little slit. And it's actually, there's a little shaft on both of these sides that actually slides right into this hole here, okay? That's the reason it's not falling out is because it's still stuck in there. I could easily pull this thing out and it would fall down, but I still like to have something underneath there just in case the first time you pull this off, you might pull it all off at once because these babies will, if you can see right here, you see right here, that little bolt there, not bolt, but that little plastic knob there is actually the shaft that goes through this from here, right? That's all that's holding this headlamp on. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put on the signals, all right? Now these are not the factory signals. These are our aftermarket signals that you can actually buy, I believe, from Amazon. But what you wanna do is you wanna slide the plug in through here, through the bigger hole, all right? Slap it in there like so. Pull that through like so. All right, and you want the big end inside here. Slap that sucker in there. And you don't have to get crazy with this. You just want it snug, that's about it. All right, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. All right, guys, so whenever you have your signals in here and you have your piece equipped here, what you wanna do is these little areas here, they're gonna require these kinds of clips, okay? Now, they're not gonna come with the monster fairing kit. You're gonna have to buy these separately. But if you notice, I rounded off this edge here so that way it would actually fit, because what it's gonna do is it's actually going to hit, put that in there, it's actually gonna hit this here. So you gotta round it off a little bit so that way it can fit and you can get your bolt in there, no problem, and fit it in. So if you do that to both sides, you'll be good to go. You don't have to worry about the top because these here are actually threaded, so you don't have to worry about them at all. So let's go ahead and install this baby and mount it up to the bike. All right, get this pretty thing, and always be very, very careful when you're doing this. Now, you see these bolt holes, guys, these little guys right here, and this little guy right here, you're trying to mount this spot of the fairing to that. All right, guys, when you're mounting your headlamp onto your cowl here, This bolt, you want to make sure you put this bolt here on this side and that bolt on that side first. Bolt these in here on this before you put your cowl actually on your bike. So now we're actually going to install it on my bike. We're going to try to align these holes with these holes on both sides. So let's do that now. All right, so we're going to be real careful here. Pull this sucker up. And there's actually a couple notches. It's hard to see because it's hard for me to use everything I got, guys. But if you notice down in here, see that notch right there? There's another one over there. You want to put those inside that hole right there. It's kind of hard to see, I know, but there's one on each side. You just want to put that little notch in there, as well as get these holes on top of here lined up with where the mirrors go. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to get these lined up first. There we go. Okay, I'll move my wiring out of the way there. All right, now I'm going to mount this up on top of here. Okay, and we're going to mount this one up on top of here. There we go. And booyah! All done, all done, all done, all done. Look at that, look at that. Okay, not too bad. It's a little bit of a pain getting them first bolts in on here, but not too bad. Now we need to put these bolts on and finish everything else up. Once you get done doing your bolts, unfortunately I can't because the bolts that I have aren't quite long enough to get through there and tighten up. So I'm going to have to buy some new bolts, no big deal. But once you get these 4 bolts bolted in, you start plugging in your signals. Then it's just a matter of popping your windshield back on, popping your mirrors back on, all really easy things to do. So that pretty much concludes putting on the front cowl. Can't wait to finish putting up the rest of the fairings, but really guys, all the rest of the stuff is really self-explanatory as far as how to put on the rest of these fairings. But I wanted to cover the front cowl because I know a lot of people get really confused on it, and honestly guys, it's a really simple project. It just takes a little bit of time. You just gotta be real careful not to scratch your stuff. And let me know how you're all doing on there. Let me know if this helped you out there, and I do hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you everybody. Take care.
Woo-wee. Damn, girl.